improvement system program. So we have access to really ample professional development opportunities through the county, and they also offer a stipend for participating in that. This past year, our staff participated in a program for infant toddler care, PITC, full course. So we actually had a infant toddler course taught at site at our center in the evenings that we paid for your time, and you got our staff got units and professional growth hours for that. So if you're interested to further your skills in the field and just kind of further your own professional growth and development, we have access to lots of opportunities with that as well. I think that's all I was going to say. Sorry.
Thank you so much, Grace. And I was going to ask if there was anything else you wanted to say, so I'm glad you got that in. QRS is also a great attribute to have for your program as well. So I'm actually familiar with that program. So that's actually great. And working for a QRIS program gives you lots of opportunities for growth and support. So that's wonderful for your program. I really want to thank you and Shelly for sharing these teaching positions. I mean, given the situation with COVID, a lot of centers were closed down, lost care. So it's actually really nice to hear that there are and is some hope for reopening or for filling more positions and, kind of getting back into what we feel like might be what our new normal will be. So I really appreciate you sharing those. I think it'll be really valuable for our ECE students, but also for students in other programs as well who also just need to gain experiences in working with children. So again, thank you both for sharing those opportunities as they are not easy to come by during these times that we're living in now. So again, thank you both. I do want to ask that if anyone is not, we're getting some background noise. So if you are not speaking at the time, to just please mute your microphone or your sound by just hitting the microphone so we don't get that feedback when others are speaking. But thank you, Shelly, and thank you, Grace, for sharing those teaching positions. I'm super excited and hope that many of our students are interested in them as well. And I would love to pass this on to my colleague, Renee, who's going to introduce herself and the next employer who is here with us today.
Thank you, Alexa and Shelly and Grace. Hi, everyone. My name is Renee Liang, and I am the Job Placement Coordinator for Business, Entrepreneurship, and Management. And next, I would like to introduce Alexis Clark from Vendition. Hi, Alexis. Can you tell us about the sales development representative positions that are available at Vendition?
Definitely. So we do things a little bit different at Vendition. We have an apprenticeship program that helps people get into the tech sales space. And I'll start with the reason why. And it's because, being in the Bay Area, we know how big tech is. There's a ton of growth, innovation, new things are popping up all the time. But along with that comes a lot of competition. A lot of the time it's sink or swim. And so what we want to do is provide resources to people, especially people who are graduating college, a few years out of college, career switchers who are interested in SaaS and want to get their foot in the door. And so to work with us, you can send me an email at alexis@vendition.com, do the contact us form on our website and speak to us about the opportunities we have. We currently are working in the Bay Area, LA, New York, Denver. So we have opportunities across the country. And I'd say that a majority of the qualifications that we look for are people who are just hungry, who have great communication skills, who have a desire to be in a growing industry, who are really self-starters, self-motivated. And basically we're just, really trying to create a system of support so that when people go into these full-time jobs for the first 3 months, we're actually connect you with a sales coach so that you're able to have both sides of that coin, be in the full-time position, get to know your team, have that social aspect, but then also have an expert where you're able to go to, on a Wednesday afternoon and say, I had this objection, I have no idea how to handle it, or I have this issue with my manager, I don't know what what to do, or I want this promotion, how do I get it? And that sales coach is able to help guide you, give you advice, kind of the same as a personal trainer. You know, at a gym, you can go in and work out, but if you go in with a personal trainer, you're going to learn things that you can use to improve your health, you know, for the long run, even if you're not working with them anymore. So that's kind of our idea here. And in terms of the reasons to work for us, for those first 3 months of the apprenticeship, it is paid. So it's $2,500 a month or $7,500 for the duration of the 3 months. There is nothing out of your pocket at any time. So don't worry about that. It's not paid. We don't take part of your salary or anything like that. And then after the 3 months, if you do choose to go on with the same company, you would have salary, a commission structure, and benefits and all of that. And then still having Vendition in your corner as a support system if you ever need us. And then, of course, invitations to our virtual happy hours now, which has been exciting. But if anyone's interested, yeah, just our website, vendition.com, or you can email me at alexis@vendition.com.
Thank you, Alexis. And is there any other like specific skills or like qualifications that the students might need before they want to apply for Vendition?
Good question. So the awesome thing about what we do is that you really don't. So if you have never had any sales experience, if you've never done anything customer facing, you can still reach out and work with us. You know, that's kind of our main goal, is to help people who don't have that experience yet get their foot in the door. But I'd say that some skills that you can really pick up on your own are just having strong communication skills. You know, since you'd be talking to someone on my team over the phone, and the sales position is, you know, over a qualifying role, you know, you're making phone calls to decision makers at companies. You need to have a strong phone presence. You need to have confidence in your voice, be curious, you know, ask good questions. And I'd say that, you know, having a real interest in the SaaS industry is something that just in general, even if you're not working with us, you know, going to a company and saying, this is the job I want, this is the industry I want, is super key. Even if it's a little bit of an exaggeration, I think that's super important to, you know, make sure that have a clear path, that, you know, you're really going after what you want.
Yes, I also think that communication and working on customer service skills is really important, especially when starting out with a new company, and to communicate with your new team members to get to know them. And eventually, if they do want to stay after the sales apprenticeship, yeah, it would be a really great opportunity. And is there anything else you would like to add or talk about?
I can say a little bit about what the SDR position is, because I know it's something that I had no idea about when I was in college, and it's something that you're not really exposed to too much. It's sales development representative. It could also be called business development representative, account development representative, sometimes marketing development representative. You're basically the qualifying part of the sales cycle. So you're at the top of the funnel, you're talking to the most people, seeing if they can actually utilize your software. Instead of pushing a product, you're trying to solve a problem for them. And part of that is trying to find that problem that they have, that they might not even know that they have yet, in terms of how you can save them time, save them money with your software. And so that's mainly what the role is. There's a ton of growth. The main growth is going into the account executive role, which is the closing position. So, you know, the SDR and the AE kind of work teamwork to make sure that, you know, one's qualifying, one's closing. And then there's also, you know, account management, customer success, customer relations. So it's a huge, you know, the SDR position really is the trunk of a tree that goes out to so many different roles, so many different opportunities, especially just with growth, you know, with everything happening, there's probably going to be new departments popping up, you know, for all of these different things that are going on that are going to need people. And so a lot of the time they look internally. And so that's why, you know, the SDR position can be really valuable to getting the start in your career.
Thank you so much, Alexis. The sales development representative positions and the apprenticeship program all sound really exciting and are really great opportunities for the students and community at Skyline College. And now I would like to pass the virtual mic to my colleague, Terrence, to introduce our next representative.
Thank you, Renee and Alexis. So good afternoon, everyone. My name is Terrence Jang. I am the Job Placement Coordinator for Science, Technology, and Health. Next up, we will have our last, but definitely not least employer from Accredited Caregiver Specialist, Dr. Leung, will share about the available positions. So hi, Dr. Leung. Can you tell us
Hi.
more about the available positions and what qualifications and skills are required for each position?
Yes. We have an internship position here at our office in Burlingame, and it is a entry-level position, so it's perfect for a college student who may still be attending classes and has a certain schedule that they need flexibility to work around. I think that's our strengths. I've been in business for about 20 years now, and a majority of my employees have been college students, and particularly in the healthcare field or nursing. I've had many employees go on to be nurses, so this would be a good position for anybody who may be studying to be in the nursing program or anything in the healthcare field, because we do have, we build relationships with facilities and social workers and hospitals and things like that in order to gain patients and leads for our home care business. So, and also for gaining experience in those fields will help them to progress into their primary field, because often they, in the primary fields, they want to see some type of experience in the healthcare field before they would be accepted for other positions. So, and I do write a lot of letters of recommendations for students who need them to go on to a program that's very competitive. So, you know, it's very non-stressful in the sense that we don't require them to do anything once they're out of work. You know, they don't have to take work home with them. It's local. We work around their schedule in terms of Monday through Friday, and it's a part-time job, so it's not too overwhelming for somebody who has a full load to be able to do. Although they do have to be available some days during the week in order to come into the office to actually perform the work. And the work entails coordinating with our office and staff and other businesses and agencies in order to set up meetings, in order to funnel referrals into us and reach out to people to describe what we do and how we do it, and just to build contacts in and amongst the healthcare community. And yeah, that's basically it. And I think that because we're local and, you know, we are talking about mostly Skyline students, it's an ideal situation. We're close to home for most people. And then, you know, but it's not this is not a position that people will eventually, you know, have as a career in the future. It's more of a stepping stone into the career that they would move into by getting professional experience, professional interactions, and contacts by working through our agency. And that's pretty much it. Keep it short and simple.
All right. Thank you very much for sharing about the position. Those are definitely very good opportunities for our Skyline students, and it is very relatable to our programs here offered at the college. And as you mentioned, this is a perfect opportunity for our students to start to get some experience and to get their foot into the door, as that is the most important step, or the most important initial step to a start of a career. What are some certain skills or qualifications that you look for these candidates?
Well, first of all, reliability is the key thing that we look for. Somebody who will show up when they say they're going to show up, and, you know, has the energy to go through the entire day. Well, even though it's only a 4-hour type of shift. So high integrity is a must. Good communication skills is a must. We are working with patients and clients and professionals. So somebody who presents well, somebody who's self-mobile, who can potentially go and meet with a client at their location or a referral source at their location. And everything else we can train, as long as they have the right attitude and the energy to perform the work. Everything else we can train on the job.
I definitely agree with that. Most important step is, the most important part is for the students to be that they're willing to learn and to willing to go through the experience, which I'm pretty sure a lot of our Skyline students have that attitude, so that's perfect for them. Is there anything else that you would like to add before I pass it back to Alexa?
Only that we only have one position available. And, so because we have a lot of other avenues where we're seeking, candidates for this position, the sooner somebody contacts us, since we only have one job, the better, I guess.
All right, thank you very much for sharing about your company. Now I will pass it back to Alexa to wrap up the meeting.
Thank you, Terrence. Thank you, Dr. Leong, for sharing that opportunity available to students. I would like to begin our closing and to thank all of our employers and the representatives who came from these companies to speak today, given your busy schedules. So thank you to Shelly, Grace, Alexis, and Dr. Leong for taking time out of your schedule to come and share these opportunities with the Skyline College community. We greatly appreciate your time. And I would love to give you guys a virtual round of applause for sharing these opportunities and giving students the chance to hear about them and potentially fill these positions that you are looking to have filled. So moving along, I'd also like to thank the Career Readiness and Job Placement team for their efforts in putting together the Get Work Wednesday webinar, virtual recruitment opportunity for employers, for the students. And also I would like to thank the fabulous audience that is here with us today. I do apologize earlier, the webinar had seemed to shut down, and technical difficulties, of course, will happen with technology. So my apologies if anyone was removed from the session and unable to get back in for any reason. This webinar will be uploaded to our website, fortunately, so that students who weren't able to make it or for some reason couldn't get back in will be able to still access and hear about these opportunities that were available today. And you can access that within our website at skylinecollege.edu/career center. You can also just type in career readiness and job placement into the Skyline College website search bar, and our website will pop up with that as well. In addition, if any of the attendees are interested today, or those who watch this webinar, we will have an interest form up as well. So you can fill that out and we will get in contact directly with the wonderful employers who were here today and connect you with them should you meet the qualifications required to apply for the positions that they had shared today. And now I would like to open up the floor if there were any questions that our attendees had that they would like to ask our employers. The floor is yours. You may feel free to speak. You should be able to raise your hand and I can give you the ability to speak, and or if you prefer to use the chat feature, you can do that as well and I can read your question out loud. Okay, it looks like we don't have any questions. I like to give about a minute in case someone is chatting. But it looks like we don't have any. So again, thank you to all of our employers who were here today. We look forward to collaborating with you and working with you in the future to provide you any needs that you may have in related to filling positions that become available and that are currently available, in hopes that we can help get the word out to our Skyline community and get those potential candidates in for those positions. So thank you again, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Have a good day.
day.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.